He's always hungry. He's unbelievably strong, and he grows in these wild spurts. Like, he looks human, but he can't be human.
Something new, something magical.
Action!
The second season, or the second book, you have to understand that nobody's safe. Anything can happen to anybody, and that makes for great television.
Anne Rice gave us such a rich world to play with. This season really gives us something unique that people haven't seen before.
Anne Rice's book, Lasher, is such an incredibly wild book. It goes to extraordinary places.
They've managed to sort of carve out such an interesting journey for all the different characters. Lasher specifically, he's somebody who's just come into his human form.
For people to see just how much more we've delved into the world, especially the Mayfair family, or to see how far and wide that the Talamasca organization actually goes. So it's been great to see the expansion of the storylines.
It's really nice to come back to a second season and know everyone. We had most of the same crew, and I love the new cast, and I got to play with my old cast as well. It felt like Rowan was coming home.
We start in our very witchy, strange world of New Orleans and the Mayfairs of New Orleans, and the house is a real set piece in this. The house is kind of living a life based on what's happening to Lasher.
When me and Esther first spoke about this season, we were like, how can we show a different side of Lasher? The human side. Somebody who isn't used to this world, doesn't understand his purpose. So in essence, we thought of Frankenstein's monster.
You're dealing with characters in a family, all who have these incredible powers and who are also very human at the same time. That's what was fascinating with the Greek gods, for example, is you have these really powerful creatures that still are lustful and angry and jealous and greedy.
More milk! Give it to me!
It's not a sin to kill the devil.
We had Lashers of various ages. When you're working with babies, small children, you don't always know what you're gonna get.
Growing?
Lighting was one of the first things we talked about. We cannot ever, ever, ever light this baby in bright light. We have to keep this baby always in shadow. One of my favorite moments in the first episode is a moment where baby Lasher pulls out his own teeth. Children do, they, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle and pull out their teeth. But for a mother watching that, is that normal?
It was really fun for me as an actor to see Lasher grow up so quickly and to play with all these young actors.
Where's the fire?
There were some metaphors for the shock and unknown of being a new mother. Although Rowan is maybe dealing with far more than most mothers because her child is a demon.
You look so grown up. Very refined.
Who's Tessa?
One thing we wanted to do in season 2 was to really inhabit the space of the Mayfair family and get to know some of the other witches and get to know the emotional journeys of other Mayfairs in addition to Rowan. And that took us into some very strange and dark places in the best possible way.
Better.
A wonderful character in the second book called Mona Mayfair. We didn't use all of the attributes of Mona, so it felt unfair to call our character Mona, but we leaned in that direction with the name Moira.
Hello? Hello? Is anybody home? Moira?
Alyssa she just popped out of the audition. She's amazing. You could just feel the Moira in her. And then, as often happens, as soon as she was on set being our Moira, we started writing towards her and her voice.
When your sister's murdered, it really makes you reassess your priorities a little.
Making her a mind reader gave her an incredibly strong power, one that could rival some of Rowan's powers. So we felt her power needed to be absolutely significant.
Who are you? I'm Moira.
Moira is Tessa's sister.
It seems like when they first meet that she's going to be this adversary.
I'm so sorry about Tessa. I feel completely responsible for that.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that.
As far as the character of Lark goes...
Rowan? My God, is everything okay?
It's fine. I'm fine.
Rowan goes to him in the second book to get information about Lasher. She's trying to figure out Lasher's blood type.
I'm wondering if you'll run genetic testing for me on a blood sample.
We really wanted there to be the feeling of a love triangle, that Sip is there still having feelings for Rowan, but that this person comes onto the scene who also has a kind of romantic feeling for Rowan.
It meant a lot that you thought of me.
Of course I did. I do.
Sip, if you're touching this Bible and seeing this moment for the first time, that means your memory has been erased by Ulrich Escher.
The theme really for the season is about family, and when we thought about Sip, it really felt like his story of family was a story of being in the Talamasca.
Don't let anything stand in your way, and don't trust anyone except the person who gives this to you.
The Talamasca who discovered him and discovered the gift he had and kind of brought him in and said, this is who you are, this is what your gifts are. And we find him at the beginning of the season having separated himself for the first time from that family, living on his own mission because he's so obsessed with Lasher.
Sip's relationship with the Talamasca is not good right now. I mean, he's hiding, essentially. I think he's hiding because there's a lot of questions that have been left unanswered. There's a lot of emotions that are just bubbling up inside him.
The Talamasca doesn't want Lasher.
I'm told we do. Now that he's embodied, he's a serious threat to the balance of the supernatural world.
There's a place down by the lake, down by the lake, down by the lake. For the monster I can see is inside me, is inside me.
I had from the very beginning in my mind the idea that if our heart is going to be with Rowan as she basically vanishes this body that her child has killed.
Lasher, lay down. Tell me who saw you with her.
Fix her! Doesn't go to the police and report him, whatever. If we're going to be with her when she does that, it has to be beautiful. So if she does this with respect and beauty, then the audience will go with her and will not judge her for what she's done. And it felt like such extraordinary witchy power. She can control all of these elements, and here she is moving the water down to sink this body away. It's like the culmination of the power that Lasher has given her, but also of the crimes that he's committed.
That was a very interesting place to take Rowan's story and take her relationship with her son and the complicated nature of their relationship.